Hi there, I'm Benji. Welcome to our English Learning Podcast. Today, I'm going to talk about listening. Listening is one of the hardest parts of learning English. When I started learning English, everything sounded fast and confusing. But I found ways to practice every day, and I want to share them with you. By the end of this episode, you'll have simple tips and ideas to help you listen better. Let's have fun and learn together. Why listening is hard and okay to feel that way. I remember when I first heard people speaking English outside the classroom. I felt like they were speaking in a secret code. It all sounded very strange. I wanted to understand every word, but I didn't. I felt a little frustrated and a bit shy. It was normal to feel that way. Many English learners feel the same way. At first, listening can seem like magic words that we don't know. But don't worry, this is normal. Even English teachers say you should not get sad if you don't understand everything. It takes time and practice. Think of listening like learning to play a new song on the piano. The first time you hear it, it sounds confusing. But if you hear the song many times, you start to recognize the tune and some notes. Listening to English works the same way. The more you do it, the more you will understand. So, if you feel a little lost at first, that's okay. We all start there. And yes, sometimes I even laughed at myself, like when I thought someone said, "I love pizza," but they actually said, "I love pandas." It was just a joke in my head. Mistakes happen, and they can be funny. So, take a deep breath and relax. Learning listening takes time. As one expert says, learning takes time. Don't get discouraged if you don't understand everything immediately. The good news is, listening skills will improve if you keep practicing daily. Let me tell you a short story from my own life. When I was a beginner, I had classes with a teacher and other students. The teacher spoke very slowly and clearly, but when we went outside the classroom, things were different. My friends would chat with each other or in the hallway the moment the bell rang. They used slang and talked fast. I remember one morning I was getting a sandwich at school, and the shop teacher said, "Ham and cheese coming up." I only heard "coming up," and I thought he said something about him coming up from the basement. I said, "Okay," and smiled. Later I realized I just ordered a ham and cheese sandwich without even asking properly. It was silly, but I learned. At first, I felt like a lost puppy wandering around. I wanted to join the chat, but I was too shy to ask everyone to repeat. I sometimes felt scared or embarrassed if I missed what someone said. But I realized many beginners feel the same fear. Nobody laughs at mistakes when you try to learn. Often, they respect your courage. What did I do? I decided to change my routine. I started listening every day, even for a few minutes. For example, I put on a simple English song when I walked to school. I played cartoon dialogues quietly while doing my homework. I listened to the English announcements at school, even if I didn't understand them at first. Little by little, those mystery sounds became a little more clear.
One day, I was cleaning my room and I played a children's story in English. I didn't understand every word, but I liked the characters and pictures on the screen. After a few weeks, I realized I could actually guess more of the story just by listening. That felt great. That day, I thought, I really am learning something. It was a big confidence boost. So my story is simple. I got better at listening by using English in my daily life and by being patient. If I can do it, you can too. Daily life listening habits. One of the best things to do is listen to English every day. This is not about spending hours at a desk. It's about using the little moments in your day to practice. According to experts, the more you listen to English, the more familiar you'll become with common words, phrases, and accents. In simple words, hear English often, and it will start to make sense. Here are some easy daily routines. Morning routine, before school or work. When you wake up, you can listen to something short and easy. Maybe turn on the news and listen to 1 or 2 sentences, or play a short English song. Even a simple weather report is good. It's like brushing your teeth. Just a little bit each morning helps a lot. For example, when I cook breakfast, I sometimes play an English kids news or a song. It wakes up my ears. On the way, commute, or walk somewhere. You have some free minutes. Use that time to listen. You can put on a podcast or an audio story, or even just listen to an English music playlist. I often listen to English songs or a Word of the Day podcast while walking. It turned my walking time into learning time. This way, even boring commutes become useful. Daily activities, chores at home, cooking, exercising. Doing chores at home is another great chance. For example, while cleaning your room or washing dishes, play something in English. It can be a simple song or a story you like. When I clean my room, I sometimes put on an English cartoon I like. My hands work and my ears listen. It's like multitasking your practice. The key is that your brain starts getting used to English sounds without you needing to look at a screen. It doesn't hurt if you are not 100% focused on it. You might wash the floor while hearing English in the background. This is exactly what a language expert, Steve, does. He says, I prefer to be listening and doing something else. Listening, fading out, focusing in again. That works better for me. So it's okay if you sometimes daydream. Just let English play quietly and give your mind a chance to pick up words. Over time, your brain will learn many words like that.
See, listening can fit in all parts of your day. The goal is to make English sound familiar, not to study for hours. Like exercise, little bits daily is better than one long session. Soon, listening English will feel like a normal part of your routine. Active listening techniques. Now let's talk about how to listen when you focus on English, like during a lesson or with a video. Active listening means paying full attention and trying to understand. Here are some tips. Focus on the big picture. Don't try to catch every single word. Instead, listen for the overall meaning. For example, if someone says, I'm going to the park tomorrow, and you only catch park and tomorrow, you already know they will be at the park the next day. That's enough to understand most of it. It's hard to translate every word as you listen. Instead, try to understand the story or question. Experts say, try to understand the overall meaning instead of translating every word. This will help you relax. You might say to yourself, okay, I got the main idea. That's good enough. Listen and repeat quietly. Try to repeat words or phrases after you hear them. You can even whisper if you're alone. This is a fun trick. Pick one sentence from what you heard and say it out loud. It practices your speaking and helps your ear. For example, if you hear, "It's a beautiful day," you can pause the audio and say that line. This helps you connect the sounds to your mouth. It is like echoing. One resource suggests to
Ask questions or repeat what you heard to confirm understanding. So repeating is good. Just do it softly and slowly.
Use body language. If you are listening to someone in person, you can nod or smile. This helps keep you focused. If it's a friend or teacher speaking, look at them. That extra attention will help your brain catch more words. It also shows you're listening, and your friend might speak a little slower if they see you struggling, kind of like in cartoons when a character mouths, with big eyes. Don't translate every word. You may feel like translating each word in your head, but this slows you down. It's better to listen than think about meaning in English. You can use small meaning clues. For example, if the sentence is about cooking and you hear mix, tomato, big pot, you can guess it's a cooking story. Practice just listening and then thinking a bit in English. This trick helps you understand faster next time. Ask and clarify. If you're in a classroom or with a friend, don't be afraid to ask, "Could you say that again, please?" Or, "Sorry, I didn't catch that." It's totally fine. Every teacher loves that because it shows you want to learn. You can say it in English too. "Sorry, I didn't understand" is okay. Just keep it simple. Mind wandering is okay. Here's something important. It's normal for your mind to wander. When you listen for a while, you might suddenly think about lunch or your favorite game. Don't worry, this happens to everyone. A language expert, Steve, says it is impossible to 100% focus while listening. Lots of areas you don't understand, your mind wanders off. That's fine, as long as you come back. So if you find yourself daydreaming, gently bring your attention back to the voice or audio. Even if you only focus half the time, you're still learning. The important part is that you keep going and don't give up listening entirely.
This is like a classroom tip. If you have written text of the audio, like in a lesson, use it after you listen. First, listen, then read along. This is like watching the same movie with subtitles. It helps you connect sounds to words, but try to do it only a little. The main goal is to learn to listen. So, you could listen once without reading. See how much you get? Then read and listen again to understand more. This is how some people learn faster. But remember, not all listening practice has to use transcripts. It's just a tool if you have it. With these techniques, you turn listening into an active game. Each time you listen, think, what did I get? What do I do next? Eventually, you train your brain to catch meaning faster. Start with slow and simple audio. When you're beginning, slow down is your friend. Just like training wheels on a bike, easy audio helps you stay on track. Look for materials made for learners, or even something fun and simple. Children's songs and stories. Kids' songs often have simple words and repeat a lot. For example, a song about colors or animals. Listening to songs with pictures or lyrics is great. You might know the tune already, so it's easier to understand. Also, children's storybooks have easy language. I liked hearing a story about Charlie and the cat when I was learning. Slow podcast or beginner's material, some podcasts or radio news for learners speak slowly and clearly. Even listening to a weather report in slow English helps. It's like taking small steps before a big run. As one blog suggests, begin with English listening materials for beginners, slow speed content. Gradually challenge yourself with natural speed exercises. So, start slow. Then later, try normal speed.
Repeat often. With slow audio, you can listen many times. If you like one sentence, listen to it again and again. Try to say it each time. Repetition is powerful. Hearing the same sentence 5 times means you'll remember it the next day. Don't be shy of repeating until you feel you can pronounce it too. Move to normal speed slowly. After a while, try to listen to slightly faster audio. For example, if you start with a podcast that plays at 50% speed, after a week, try 60%, then 70%, and so on. This builds confidence. The key here is to protect your confidence. If you start with something too hard, you might give up. Instead, win little battles with easy content and enjoy it. Kids' songs can be fun and silly. Laugh if a chicken says something funny. When you have fun learning, you learn better. Build vocabulary and pronunciation. Another tip is to learn some words and how to say them, because not knowing them can block your understanding. Listening is easier when you know the words you might hear. Learn key words. Think about everyday topics. What words are common? For example, names of foods, apple, bread, water. Simple actions like go, eat, drink. Common places like school, home, park. You can make a small list of 5 to 10 words a week and really remember them. The next time you hear those words, you'll know them. This builds your vocabulary, the words you know. A strong tip is learn common phrases and idioms used in everyday English conversations. Even if we avoid hard idioms, we can learn simple phrases like "How are you?" or "Thank you." These are repeated in conversation, so knowing them helps a lot.
Sometimes we don't understand because the speaker pronounces words differently than in a dictionary. So, say words aloud. For example, I learned that comfortable is said comfortable. Try to listen to a word and then copy it. There are pronunciation videos for single words, like on YouTube or in a dictionary app, but even better, listen to people. If you hear a word you know, pause and say it. If you hear a new word, look it up later and listen to its sound. As one source notes, practice pronunciation to better recognize words when listening. This helped me hear things like water or sorry better in fast speech. Soon, some words will just pop in your ear. Learn short phrases, chunks. Besides single words, learn little chunks of language, like whole greetings or expressions. For example, the phrase, "What's up?" or "See you later." When you hear just one part, you can guess the rest. These chunks make it easier because you won't start from zero each time. Remember, you don't have to learn lots of words at once, just a few every week, and review them. You will start recognizing them in conversations and audio clips. Engage in real conversations, if you can. If you have someone to talk to, that is the best of both worlds. Listening and speaking together is fun and effective. Talk with friends or classmates. Try to speak even a little bit with a friend who knows English or a classmate. For example, say simple things like, "Hello, how are you?" or "I like this song." When you do this, they often reply to you in simple English too. You will learn to listen to what they say. Even if it's a short talk, it's great practice. Speaking can also make listening easier because you hear answers to your own questions. And as one guide says, speak with native or fluent English speakers helps a lot.
Join conversation groups. Sometimes schools or community centers have clubs or corners where people practice English. If you can find one, give it a try. They usually speak slowly and help beginners. Practice aloud by yourself. If you don't have a partner, you can pretend you do. Use a mirror and speak English lines. For example, pretend you are greeting a friend at the door. Say, "Hi, come in. How are you?" This helps you practice listening when you hear recordings of those phrases later. Listen to answers.
When you do speak to someone, the key is to listen to their reply. Don't worry if you understand only the first or last part. With time, you'll catch more. Remember, every little bit of real conversation helps your listening ear. You do not need fancy tools for this. It's just talking and listening in daily life. If you tell a friend, "I went shopping," they might ask, "What did you buy?" You learn from those questions and answers. Simple, everyday examples. It can help to think of some common situations. Ordering food. Imagine you walk into a café. The cashier might say, "What would you like today?" If you hear the word coffee and please, you know they are asking you. You can answer, "Coffee, please." Even if you miss some words, you understand the situation is about ordering. Real example, once I heard large cappuccino, I only caught cappuccino, so I said, "Yes, please." It turned out they were confirming my order of a large cup. It felt great that I understood the important word.
At home, if someone in a video says, "Let's play outside," and you hear "play outside," you know the idea. They want to go out and play. In cartoons or simple shows, they often repeat these phrases. Guessing meaning by context is a big part of listening. School or work, maybe a teacher says, "Homework is due tomorrow." If you only heard tomorrow and homework, you catch the meaning. You must do homework by tomorrow. Even missing words, you know the task. Phone conversation. Suppose you answer a call and hear, "Hi, is Lisa there?" If you know someone named Lisa, you guess they are asking for her. Even hearing just names helps. The trick is to use any clues around you, facial expressions, gestures, or words you already know. If you know the topic, like shopping or weather, you can guess new words. Key idea. You don't need to understand every single word. Getting the idea is good. For example, Steve Kaufman says, "If you listen and you don't understand, don't get frustrated. When I go to listen, I don't understand, but that doesn't bother me." So take examples lightly, laugh at small mistakes, and move on. Staying positive and patient. Learning listening is a journey, and like any journey, there will be bumps. But stay positive. Here are some encouragements. Everyone improves over time. No matter how much you practice, at first you will miss things, but bit by bit you notice more. Remember Steve's words. The process of acquisition of a language is gradual. If you listen and you don't understand, don't get frustrated. When I go to listen, I don't understand, but that doesn't bother me. So take examples lightly, laugh at small mistakes, and move on.
Be patient and consistent. It's not a race. Even if after 1 week you feel the same, keep going. You won't notice day-to-day changes easily, but after a month, look back and you might realize you understand more. One source says being consistent every day leads to better results over time, so just keep listening little by little. Turn frustration into fun. If you feel frustrated, try to relax. Take a short break, or laugh about a funny misunderstanding. Maybe tell a friend about it as a joke. Humor lightens the mood. I used to joke with friends, "Hey, I thought I heard you say I have a pet lion. Was that true?" Then we laugh, and I learn the real word was lion instead of line. It's okay to make these moments fun. Track your progress. It might help to notice improvements. You could keep a simple diary sentence like, "I listened to a short story today. I understood 30% of it." Later, you might write, "I understood 50% today." Even a little progress is progress. Get support. If someone says they cannot help, there are online communities, language forums, not specific apps, where learners cheer each other on. Hearing others say, "Don't worry, I had the same problem," can really help. Maybe tell a family member or friend, "I'm trying this listening trick," and they'll encourage you.
Confidence is important. The more you listen and understand, the more confident you will feel. As one guide notes, regular listening practice builds your listening skills and confidence. You'll feel more comfortable and assured in real-world interactions. So just keep listening little by little. Remember, it's okay to be nervous. Every great listener started as a beginner. Give yourself a pat on the back for trying, even on days you feel it was hard. You are doing great just by practicing. Recognized one new word in a song. Tomorrow, maybe two. Slowly, you'll get there.
Be patient and consistent. It's not a race. Even if after 1 week you feel the same, keep going. You won't notice day-to-day changes easily, but after a month, look back and you might realize you understand more. One source says being consistent every day leads to better results over time. So just keep listening little by little. Turn frustration into fun. If you feel frustrated, try to relax. Take a short break or laugh about a funny misunderstanding. Maybe tell a friend about it as a joke. Humor lightens the mood. I used to joke with friends, "Hey, I thought I heard you say I have a pet lion. Was that true?" Then we laugh, and I learned the real word was lion instead of line. It's okay to make these moments fun. Track your progress. It might help to notice improvements. You could keep a simple diary sentence like, "I listened to a short story today. I understood 30% of it." Later, you might write, "I understood 50% today." Even a little progress is progress. Get support. If someone says they cannot help, there are online communities, language forums, not specific apps, where learners cheer each other. Hearing others say, "Don't worry, I had the same problem," can really help. Maybe tell a family member or friend, "I'm trying this listening trick," and they'll encourage you. Confidence is important. The more you listen and understand, the more confident you will feel. As one guide notes, regular listening practice builds your listening skills and confidence. You'll feel more comfortable and assured in real-world interactions. So every time you practice, you are building confidence. Remember, it's okay to be nervous. Every great listener started as a beginner. Give yourself a pat on the back for trying, even on days you feel it was hard. You are doing great just by practicing.
Tips, recap, and final thoughts. Let's quickly recap the main tips for easy remember. Listen every day. Use short daily moments while cooking, walking, etc. to hear English. Start slow. Begin with simple songs, kids' stories, or slowed down audio. Active listening. Focus on the main idea, not every word. Repeat phrases, guess meanings from context, and ask someone to repeat if possible. Build your words. Learn key vocabulary and pronunciation. This will make hearing those words easier later. Practice with others. Talk to friends or family in English when you can. Even short chats help your ears. Be patient. Don't give up. Everyone improves with time and practice. Stay positive. Remember, every bit of listening makes you better. Enjoy small wins and learn from mistakes with a smile. Finally, I want to tell you, you can do this. Every minute you spend listening English is valuable. If you listen daily, you will soon feel that things become clearer. Perhaps right now it feels a little hard. That's okay. Imagine next month or next year. You might be thinking, "Wow, I understand so much more now." Just like any skill, listening gets easier when you practice it. Thank you for listening to me today. I hope you found some helpful ideas and felt a bit of encouragement. Keep practicing a little bit each day, and you will see improvement. Remember, even I started as a beginner, and now I understand much more English. You will too. Good luck, and see you next time on another episode with Benji. Bye for now.